Continuing on the drill press, I want to talk a little bit about some of the bits that we can use on it. We can use this. This is a twist drill. It has a single flute in it that twists around. This bit could be used in metal, plastics, or woods. It's probably the most common bit you'll see out there. You'll see it in a full set, often like this, and these are stored back behind the drill press. You also might see spade bits or speed bore bits. This is a set that's also found back there. They're a flat bit with a point on them. Usually when we use these, we drill part way through until this point sticks through the other side. We flip our board over, drill from the other side, and that gives us a nice smooth hole that doesn't splinter out. These are not really a fine woodworking bit usually. Used a lot more in construction, but we use them a lot because we have a lot of varying sizes and they drill really fast. Give you a pretty good hole if you drill from both sides. This is a set of Forstner bits. The Forstner bits give us a nice flat-bottomed hole. You can see that it has a little tip on the bottom and then the cutting edge all the way around. These give us a really nice flat-bottomed hole. The nice thing about these is that the tip actually doesn't have to touch the wood like all the rest do. It could be set off to the side of the wood and you'd have some overlapping holes if you needed them. And they come in a full set as well. These are Forstner bits. We have multi-spur bits. This is a very large multi-spur bit. This is used for setting clock movements. We also use it for drilling in the back of a bowl so that we can grab it with the chuck. This is a set of hole saws. The hole saws you can see come in varying sizes. It has a standard arbor or center to it, and then the hole saw itself, and then they just click together. And to take them apart, I'm just going to pull here, and they pop apart. Click together, pull up on this collar, and they pull apart. We also have a set of bits here. These are designed for pre-drilling your hole, drilling a countersink or counter bore if you're using screws, so that you can get a nice finish on your project. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about our drill press here. Some of the things that we need to talk about are the speeds. The larger the bit, such as that multi-spur bit, would run at a very slow speed. So in order to change that, I would use this handle over here on the side, and I could lower my speed down. So I started out at about 800 RPMs. And if I was going to use that multi-spur bit, I would probably want to be somewhere around 300 or maybe even less than that. That's 250 there, so that would be an appropriate speed. This bit that's in here is a twist bit, and it's an 1/8 of an inch, and it could run at a much higher speed. The important thing about this is the bigger bits are going to have a tendency to grab your stock more, so we want to run them at a slower speed for sure. Also, while we're talking safety here, this is a keyless chuck. In other words, I need to grab the top and the bottom at the same time and twist to release the bit. Some drills will use a keyed chuck. Our drill press over in the auto shop side is that way. This hand drill has got a keyed chuck in it. So I have to put a chuck key in here to actually loosen and tighten this down. It's important that we never leave that chuck key in the chuck at any time if we're using it. So if we're using smaller stock, we need to clamp our stock down. To do that, we could use a couple different devices. We could use this little device here. This is a drill press clamp. It's designed to hold small stock. It's fairly heavy in weight, and it really holds your stock well. If it's something small, something that you couldn't, if it was caught by the drill bit, it would get spun around. So something that's shorter than the distance from the column to the bit, we probably want to clamp down. This is one way of doing it. I'll show you another. Another way would be to use a block clamp. The block clamp itself is large enough that you could hang on to it. You wouldn't have to worry about it getting caught and spun around. It would strike the column. Or perhaps even yet, we could use 2 block clamps. So we could use 2 block clamps like you're seeing here. This block clamp is holding our stock, and this one here is holding our block clamp, that's holding our stock down to the table so it can't move at all. So that's a couple of methods of holding our stock to the table. Anytime we're drilling all the way through something, we want to have a backing board behind us. It does a couple things for us. Number one, it keeps our wood from splintering out on the back side, our project, so it gives us a better finish of our hole. Number two, it keeps our bit from striking our table, which might damage our bit or damage our table, or both. So we always want to use a backing block behind us. Like when we're using the spade bit where that little point is going to stick through, it would drill into here, and then we could flip our piece over and drill from the other side, and our point again would probably drill into here, but it gives us a much better finish of our project. The last thing to remember is anytime we're using this machine, if for some reason our stock is caught by the drill bit and starts to spin around, we don't want to reach up and grab that piece. It's going to hurt a lot. Turn the machine off, step away, let it come to a stop, and then proceed from there.